Hello everyone, welcome to TM Weekend Madness. I'm here to stream Battle for the Scroll, which is an exciting new name for the game today. Welcome back, Chris Harris, to the stream.
Hi. My headphones broke just before we started, but I think we're okay.
All right, so you're talking directly through your computer, I take it. So if folks have any feedback on levels as we go through this, please let us know. Let's just jump right over to the game board. Once again, we were a little late starting. I just had a couple of technical pieces. Surprise, surprise. Folks have just picked factions and are starting to auction. I'm going to jump right over to the game board, and we can break down the whole setup and see what's gone on so far. Here we are. Okay, first of all, I did just want to mention, so we've renamed this stream to Battle for the Scroll. That's right, Chris? That was sort of a
Yeah,
late...
that's right.
Okay, so a late change. You'll see the lovely new logo for this in the top right of the screen there. Do you want to just explain that for us? Why Battle of the Scroll, how you came to that?
Oh, good question. I mean, I'm clearly a marketing genius.
I mean, I
I
thought it was pretty
think
cool.
I think so. Basically, we're thinking that we're going to have one of these every week, and we're going to kind of just, well, we're going to kind of have it as a bit like a Hall of Fame, like you got a different winner each week, and eventually this image came to my mind of this scroll kind of unrolling, and you see more and more winners getting added to it every
Mm-hmm.
week, and then as soon as I thought scroll, I thought uh, sort of what I think Jackal particularly famous for calling the past tiles all works out,
She
and
super
but I
is,
think.
yep.
um, and I just thought it's a word that is in the kind of Mystica meme lore. So yeah, we should use that.
So for folks who are sort of new to this, new Discord, new tournament space, TM Weekend Madness is sort of the name for um, the games, if you will. There's the Fire and Ice ladder, which is part of uh, TM Weekend Madness, and Battle of the Scroll is like a special event. Is that correct? But we sort of got Battle for the Scroll and the Fire and Ice ladder,
Yeah.
which are both sort of a series of events that take place under TM Weekend Madness.
Yeah. So this is a ladder game, but
This
it's a
is a
ladder
ladder
game
game.
between the top four players on the ladder.
Right.
Um, so yeah, the winner of this gets particular kind of kudos.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. Okay. Just wanted to catch everyone up to what's going on there. Ghostly, good to see you here. L4, awesome. Welcome everyone. Yes, the undulating hexes. Is that how you pronounce that? Those were the hexes for those who remember TMTL season 4. Those were the hexes that were used in that season. So I borrowed them for this stream. If anyone has any other amazing video hexes that are royalty free that they'd like to see on for this stream, just ship them my way. Anyhow, okay, to the game. What have we got here? As per usual, we've got a ton of madness. We've got Fire and Ice scoring that's on in this setup. Fire and
Yep.
Ice factions and fan factions are all part of this. So we do see one Fire and Ice faction, Dragon Lords, have been picked into Wisps, and then Nomads and Dwarves as more vanilla factions. Help us break this down a little bit. What do you make of this Dragon Lords, Wisps, Dwarves, and Nomads setup in the context of fjords with
Yeah.
landscapes are on, I would assume, given that it's
No,
total.
landscapes are off. Unfortunately, you
Okay.
can't play landscapes with the fan faction,
Oh,
otherwise we
of
could
course.
have
That
to.
totally makes sense. So landscapes are off, and we have outposts, or
Yeah,
in other terms, edge scoring.
edge scoring, that's right. So yeah, so it's edge scoring and there's no spade tile in the past tiles, just to jump ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's a lot of pressure on factions that can do sort of funny digs, so they can sort of dig around the edge, rather than going, which often means jumping around a lot of different around the color wheel, if you like. So that's why a nomad stronghold is going to be useful for that. But dragon lords can also do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So that's one thing I've noticed. Yeah, and wisps also have their own spade kind of internal digging ability, so they don't mind so much about the lack of a spade tile either. I'm not quite sure how dwarves are gonna manage. I guess they can do their tunneling. The tunneling is quite nice on this map. You've got F6 here,
Yeah.
C6, A7, A5. If they can get all of those, which will be a struggle against these fairly aggressive factions,
Yeah.
nomads and dragon lords.
Oh, there's a ton of great grays on this map. Mind you, I've played games on this where I assumed dwarves would just be really good on edge scoring, just because they have so many grays on the edge. Like if you look at them, C1, A5, A7, C9, F9,
Mm.
I4. But I don't know. It's never really worked out for me. Like it's hard to get to all of
Mm.
those as dwarves. You need a really
Yeah.
good game. You need an econ favor, a really good economy, coins, actions, all that kind of stuff. I find to really be able to just like take advantage of all those grays and get to them before other people dig them. But I don't know.
Right.
I'd love to see a big dwarves game on Fjords, a game that I can live vicariously through because I can never pull them off and really compete for edge scoring without actually upgrading digging. No chat on the overlay. I don't know what that's about. That's so super annoying. That's happened like a while ago. Forget when that was. And I just clicked on things and then it fixed it, Ghostly. So what if I just click on things again for a while as Chris talks and says smart things about
Yeah.
the
So
wisps?
w- so I should talk about. Should tell me what the wisps do, I suppose, because they might not know. So the wisps is one of the new fan factions, and when you upgrade to a trading post, you get to um, do one spade on a hex next to that trading post. So this is
Hmm.
people find it's quite fiddly. It's quite difficult to use it well. But if you can use it well, then it can be. That's a lot of spades in the game, right? You're upgrading maybe, I don't know, 7 trading posts in the game. That's a lot of spades. But some of them might be useless. You can't dig on it straight away, so you're immediately kind of a bit nervous about someone taking it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you end up wanting to build away from people a fair bit. And then they've got their stronghold, which is quite cheap, only 4 workers and 4 coins, and it allows you to immediately place a dwelling on a blue hex, but just only once on any blue hex on the board. Now that sounds like a weaker version of the witch's stronghold, and it kind of is, but it's super. It's what's really nice about it is how immediate it is. So it's actually quite an
Mm-hmm.
aggressive move. Like if someone was hoping to use that with blue, you suddenly just jump on it and you can do it at any point in the game on any blue. So it's kind of a bit scary for opponents. And it can be it can so what they can often do really well is build 3 towns miles apart, not bother connecting them, not bother ever advancing shipping, and have a really nice 3 town game.
Right, right.
And you might see them do a few like expensive trading posts as well, because it's worth it for the dig, right? The extra 3 coins, you get a dig out of it.
How do you feel about Dragon Lords just chilling here for 40? Was that
My immediate thought was this is a decent Dragon Lord setup actually. I played against the Dragon Lords on this map the other day. I'll talk about that at some point over the course of the stream because it's a very bad experience for me. But I think they can they can really get up in other factions' grills here. They should be really good at edge scoring. I guess the problem is that they've got 3 colors that cost double for them to dig on. So I don't know if people know about Dragon Lord's special power. They can take one power token out of their bowl to terraform any hex, any color to volcano. But if it's someone else's home terrain, then it's 2 power tokens, and that's quite painful for them. So they've got yellow, blue, and grey. They can't use, and I guess there's quite a lot of those around the edge. I'm not really sure. As you said, there's fair few greys. Um, so that's one thing. But on the plus side, they've got a lot of work. There's a fair few workers on the pass tiles. They've got stronghold round 4 works for them. They should be able to do well on the edge scoring. They could probably get a town round 2. Um, yeah, I guess what's against them is the lack of maybe the dwelling scoring pass tile. But apart from that, they look good to me, and I'm surprised to see them be bids that far below wisps and dwarves in particular.
well? Let me ask you this, because just while I fiddle around with this chat box, which I have fixed, and people can't see what I'm doing, they just see the chat box moving around on the screen. I promise it'll eventually land where it's supposed to. But anyhow, how are these pastels going to break down? Like what's actually happening here
Mm.
in round one? Where's that big building tile getting to, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, we'll find
Great
out soon,
question. I
but
mean, the nomads are the only ones who might be building their stronghold in round 1, right? Unless dwarves are doing something pretty crazy, but no, surely not. So only the nomads are likely to build their stronghold in round 1. So they're going to hope it gets to them. let's have a look. The the temp ship tile, I'm not sure who's going to want that. It doesn't feel that useful to anyone in particular. So I don't think the big building tile is going to get to nomads in first place, is it?
I can't
Dragon Lords
imagine.
often like might often like a bit of power, so they can cycle through their power and get up to maybe take the 7 coin action before they have to spend all their
Mm-hmm.
power on dwelling. Wisps will probably build a lot of trading posts in round one. They might even go. I often see them going for the trading post scoring in round one, scoring pass tile plus the scoring round. They're going to build a lot of trading posts because each trading post will kind of get them a dwelling, or at least get them a dig. So they might want the extra worker. They might get, I don't know, at least 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings down, maybe 3 trading posts and 3 dwellings. They can get the right places going. So they might actually take that. I don't know what dwarves. I mean, dwarves might well just take the big building. Right? Who's going to take the priest? That also looks good for wisps.
What looks good for wisps?
The priests just to get
Mm-hmm.
up to 4 spots on the blue.
Yep. So you think it's worker power, priest, big building, and then probably just 6 coins, maybe cult coins?
Um, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Presumably Dragon Lords just want 2 workers over anything else that they can have.
I would think so. Yeah, they're generally quite worker poor. They might go for worker power. Let's see how many neighbors they get because they're going to want. Yeah, they are going to want to.
But they're in second seat. Do you think someone like, I guess, do you think that big building
I
will
would do.
get taken before priest or worker power?
Um,
It's because
yeah, these are all very good questions. Um, what do you think? I mean, it's dwarves round 4. What are you taking? Dwarves to seat 4. What are you taking? The worker power probably, and then wisps.
probably. I mean, the thing is dwarves. If I thought I could get double dig with 2 workers, then I would. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
right? But like, I think you just make a play for double dig here, and I think you get it. Um,
yeah,
it's only
and yeah,
nomads
with
competing
two,
for
with
you.
two that extra worker, so they're gonna miss out on 6 victory points, but they get their worker, the extra worker. Probably a good call at this stage. Then Dragonlords have to take. The Dragonlords also take a worker, right? So everyone really wants those workers.
Right. So nomads getting a priest in first seed is
Mm-hmm.
presumably they just take it, like the first priest to Earth, I guess, for a spade next round,
Mm.
and then more coins coming off that priest. Surely that's worth.
Mm. And they're going to probably get this. I mean, are they going to build their stronghold this round? Do you think, or are they're gonna wait,
Uh,
get a temple, and
hmm. I mean, the track does kind of fit nicely for like, yeah, stronghold. You like sometimes with nomads, you can, yeah, like if they build a stronghold here, they can town. They can probably pull off a round 2 town into a round 3 temple.
mm,
And I think that,
yeah, yeah,
of course, always the trick with nomads on, like they're going to need a worker action. Because they didn't get on the big building tile if they want to build a stronghold and a dwelling in round 1.
mm.
Um,
So they have taken the
they
priest.
have taken the priest.
So the Dragon Lord's obviously making everyone a bit twitchy straight away. It's going to be interesting seeing the interplay between them and the Wisps because they're maybe one of the factions of Wisps. Interestingly, so take the Wisps for instance. When they upgrade F7, they're going to get to turn F8 blue straight away, but they're not going to be able to build on it straight away. So I'm immediately concerned about who's going to take this off me, and that's going to become that's become irrelevant straight away because Dragon Lords have taken that.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I mean F3 for instance would be vulnerable to the Nomad Stronghold if they don't do it too
Yeah.
soon enough. But actually, the Dragon Lords, as soon as they turn it blue, that costs them double. So they might be okay being near the Dragon Lords. Um, Yeah, we've got. I'm just trying to work out who the Dragon Lords are gonna. Basically, yeah. I'll cut to the chase. I'll cut to the end of my like playing against the playing get against volcano factions
Mm-hmm.
strategy guide, and just say try and place yourself so you're not the person that they have most fun targeting, right? So
Right.
here, like
Right.
Dragon Lords, they've managed to cut wisps off from the edge with F8. I guess that's one thing they can do. They've done there. Um, they they be able to cut off one of the nomads uh,
Cut off
structures. They
cut
probably,
off nomads from what?
so they could get to E5 or H6. Um, but
So
that
they
might be
could
another
get
reason
for to
why nomads.
E5 or H6.
So they could either go F5 E5 and cut off F4, or they could go G6 H6 and cut off. But that doesn't quite cut off H5.
You mean like cut it off permanently? Like they like try to like make their network not connect?
I mean, this is it's a possibility, right? It's always a possibility with the Dragon Lords. They've got essentially 7 more hexes they can dig. Well, I mean, in practice, at most 5 hex they want to dig. They're going to dig this round.
Right.
They're on this. Yeah, they're probably not going to build a temple this round. So they
Just
might
because they're
build.
on. Why don't you think they build a temple just because they're on the trading post tile? Passive.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Because otherwise, what's like a common Dragon Lord's opening favor?
So I think the most see it well either Earth 1 or Earth 2. Um,
Right.
I would say, but yeah, remember that. So their fourth dwelling doesn't produce any income, so they don't. They're
Right.
not going to be bothered to end. Yeah, but they could end on a temple and 3 dwellings. It's not particularly strong. I don't think it's a particularly strong opening for them. It can be. It can be good. Um,
What do you think's
but they,
a better opening here for them? Like what?
so if they can get on a power action, like if they can get the worker power,
Uh-huh.
so no, have we missed. Oh, nomads have taken the single spade, have they?
Nomads took
Right.
single spade on H4. Wisps took the priest.
Right.
Yep. And then, of course, Wisps dug F3 with their trading post spade.
Okay. So yeah, maybe if they can go and work a power action, they might be able to, I don't know, get to what 2 trading posts and 3 dwellings. The Dragon Lords.
2 trading posts and 3 dwellings. And then do they build a temple next round, or do they just wait till round 3?
Yeah, I mean, I've often seen them wait till round 3. Maybe in a
Really?
slightly different setup to this, but if they can get they should be trying to get a town round 2.
Right, I
Probably,
see.
they probably won't mess with nomads too much in that case. I suppose they're going to be. What are they looking at? G7, E9, and then they only need one dwelling to get a town. But they might do a temple round 2 and round 3 perhaps.
So you think Dragon Lords are looking for a workers action here, and then they build one more trading post?
Mm, it's it's tough to say because they need some more power. They can't burn power because each power token is a spade, right? So they can never really burn power.
Right.
So it's going to be tough to get this worker actions. They might just settle for the temple and 3 workers here and the 3 dwellings. Sorry, they should still be able to get a town next round. I think that's what Halai's thinking about now. Can they? Yeah. Can they rely on getting some more power from elsewhere? Doesn't isn't that great?
Hmm.
They might be able to upgrade G5 and then try and get it from the nomads.
Right.
The nomads and the nomads aren't going to get the stronghold, are they? So they've only got 3 workers left.
No, yeah, that's right. Um, okay, so they
Are they
build
going for
another.
Oh, they've gone G4. Right. Ah.
which cost 2 power tokens, right?
Oh goodness, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So they
That
down
is.
converted those 2 power to 2 coins and then burnt them from bowl 1.
Hmm.
Um, why G4? I mean, I realize it's nice. It's kind of like, they're going to get a leech from wisps and they're going to, I don't know, just get more leech from nomads and stuff. But otherwise, what's the deal with that hex?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's the best chance of getting a town on that island, isn't it? So they either have to take G4 or G6. Other because they're not going to be nomads to E5, so otherwise they'd only be on. Yeah, they would be struggling to get a town there. Um,
Ghostly says
the,
3 more leech. So what is it? Wisps, nomads, and then I guess nomads will take H3 at some point because nomads will continue building through.
yeah, if Dragon Lords let them, yeah. So Wisps are going to build. Yeah, Wisps are going to build an F3. The interesting question, I suppose, is whether then Wisps will ideally want to upgrade that F3 to a trading post, turn G3 blue, and that should stop Dragon Lords from taking it. But Dragon Lords could now take G3 now and foil that plan,
Right.
and that really that's pretty bad for Wisps. That completely ruins their town plans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Dragon Lords should be going for a town round two, and they've been splitting their between their two starting positions here, right? So that makes that a lot harder. So that's one thing I'm not sure about.
If they're going for a round 2 town, presumably that means that we're going to see a trading post on G8.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math to see if they can actually do that. Right. Oh, this is interesting. So maybe this way they will end up getting the worker action after all.
I don't know. I mean, if someone gives them a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
So nomads did temple up here.
Right. What they taking?
They
They're taking Earth 1.
temple for Earth 1. They sent their priest off. Wisps presumably are sending their priest to water here.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right. So Dragon Lords have taken H3. So they want to get down, I suppose, to I2 for a bit of edge.
Yeah.
Um, and they want to go onto that western edge as well. I1 and H1, I guess, later in the game. So they've cut nomads off from the west. And so who is going to get around to town here? Do you think? The Wisps aren't.
No, like uh
Do Dwarves
yeah.
have a chance?
I was just trying to figure that out. I mean, they'd need to build a trading post and 3 dwellings. I don't know. They'd need to they do have Earth 2. That helps. Uh, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, they'd need to get a ton of leech. They'd need double dig next round. So that doesn't seem likely.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so Wisps are
So this is nice for
risking it.
Wisps because surely Dragon Lords don't double dig G3.
You would assume so. Yeah. So I wonder. Yeah, I still wonder if Dragon Lords are just hoping to get that worker action. Um, and if they're going to build another trading post here,
Right.
and then
Well, they build a trading post. JDI can send a priest. Right? Like
yeah,
they can't expect the power from Wisps in time.
mm,
Right?
Yeah.
So are they getting power from anyone else? They don't get it from dwarves. Nomad. They don't get it from nomads, presumably. Nomads aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nomads have a lot of power and
they
nothing to do with
do.
them. Yeah, so I think one rule of thumb for a Dragon Lords game is you really want to get a power action before you burn down below 4 power tokens. Once they've done one more dig, that's them. So the next way they're going to get power tokens. They've got a couple of ways of increasing their power tokens in their bowls. They can either acquire a spade somehow, which will have to be from the cult track in this game if they are below 4 power tokens. That will get
Hmm.
them 1 token back. Or you can build your stronghold, which I'll do in round 4 here, and that gets you 4 more power tokens in a 4-player game.
Say that last piece.
That so building your stronghold
Right.
gets you 1 power token back in bowl 1 for each player in the game, including yourself. So that'll be 4.
Right.
Uh, but that won't happen till round 4 here.
Right.
So yes, they're basically the next time they dig, they're cutting themselves off from the workers and the coins power actions for a while, and doesn't look like they're going to get a spade from the Colts. So that really does put a bit of yeah, the brakes on their econ, especially so they've built 4 dwellings, but the fourth one doesn't give any worker income, so their worker income's a bit light.
Hmm.
I'm really hoping for an extra power here, I think. Although actually they can convert 3 power to a work, getting the trading post at least.
Halai, is that what you think Halai does here? I guess so.
Yeah, if they don't get the next power, I think it is. I
Interesting. I wonder why JDI why did JDI do that?
yeah
I mean, I suppose it's possible that Halai could have just down converted 2 and dug G3.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely must be on JDI's mind. Right, yeah. So JDI is just apologising for undoing their turn, and so did they originally send the priest and then change to a dwelling?
So now Halai
Mm.
will take a worker's action, build a trading post on G8. At this point, is that a better chance for a town? I don't know. He's got his
I
structures split, or does he build a trading post like on H3 or something and try to make that a
think
town?
it's
I have no idea.
H3 and then one more dwelling, maybe. Well, he doesn't need to build one more dwelling, does he? But because that won't get him any more income. But yes, does look better for a town next round.
Yeah, he's kind of got it. He's got his hexes split quite a bit, you know?
Yeah. Yes. So I think he knows he's going to get. I mean, yeah, he's going to get a town, isn't he, next round, one way or the other. And he's got no problem with connection. Maybe then he's going to start just wanting to move to the edge, basically, after he's got those 2 towns. I, yeah, don't know who feels good about the edge scoring. I mean, the Wisps. I feel like the Wisps' third town is going to be on the edge somewhere. Or I say third town, second town. They're not getting a town in the east island, are
No, F7's a little sad here.
they? Yeah. So they probably won't bother connecting, but they might try and get. They'll use their stronghold maybe to get somewhere else on the map where they can.
Mm-hmm.
You go edge. I mean, they might even try and go down to. I mean, I3, I4, I5,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
down
yeah.
south.
So do you think
Um,
F7 was just a mistake here, or was it not foreseeable that Dragon Lords would dig F8?
well, this is giving me flashbacks to 2 games I've played this week against volcano factions,
Right.
and been both times. The volcano faction was put in, I think, seat 1, and placed their second dwelling after me, and then like put right next to me, and then put their first action was then to dig and build my only escape route.
Right.
And both times that went very badly for me. And it's kind of it's ironic or embarrassing, I should say, because I think I've been having a sort of a public conversation with some people like maybe Nerdcube and Rania and others who are saying these volcano factions, they just add too much randomness to the game, and they're
Right.
just like they're fun playing with them, right? Because they can just come and just screw whoever they want over.
Right.
I've been making the point. Well, actually, I think if you play at really high levels, if you play against the other players who know what they're doing, and if you have had a lot of experience playing against these guys, then you can kind of spot it.
Right.
You can spot where they're going to go, and there's always a right move for them to do, and if they do it, then you can't feel that bad about it.
Right.
Obviously, making myself a hostage to fortune, and that's the way it's turned out. Oh, look at this. So yeah, the Wisps managed to get 3 trading posts down.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Halai is going to build a dwelling here and stall JDI from being able to get the TP tile.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think what I've come to realize is 2 things. One, in live play rather than Snellman, where I've been playing most of my Fire and Ice games, actually it's very hard to do all that working out of like,
Right.
okay, hold on, I'm going to build here, and then the volcano, where's the obvious place for volcano faction to build and then to do for their first move. So then I think it probably was inevitable that Dragon Lords would go G8 and then build F8, but I think that's very hard. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to sort of figure out in the moment that's inevitable. But the other thing is actually that you rarely see them in seat 1 or 2. Oh, yeah, here they were seat 2, weren't they? You very rarely see that in Snellman without the auction format.
Right.
And so you normally get a bit of a chance to kind of to get out of there after they've built their dwelling and before they have their first turn.
Right.
So, but here, no, Wisps built F7 not knowing that they were just going to get screwed straight away on F8. Yeah, so I think technically a mistake, but yeah, I have a lot of sympathy.
Sure.
They have managed to get a round 2 town though here.
Yeah. And looks like
really
Dragon
nice
Lords are just making the push for it. Bubs asked if does Wisp save Dragon Lords by giving them the 1 power they needed. Remember when we saw the Priest of Water and then the Undo and then the build on G3? That was safer for Wisps, but ultimately it really helped Halai because it gave him the power he needed to do the worker action.
Absolutely,
which was really nice. It also meant that with Halai, I'm sure, I mean, I haven't worked it out in my head, but being able to take that worker's action, that was an action in and of itself, and then gave him a whole extra worker as opposed to just a coin that he would have otherwise had, right? So that allowed Halai to delay his round long enough to stop Wisps from getting the trading post tile, but then also getting the 2 worker tile for themselves. So that was like, yeah, it was risky to leave G3 open, but like that was a very costly form of safety for a number of reasons, in terms of like made it much worse for Wisps at the end and like really boosted Dragon Lord's position.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those funny things, isn't it? Because it's a 4-player game, you can sort of feel like, oh, it's not. Why is it my problem to give them a sort of a harder time? But yeah, in this case, it lost them the trading post tile, which might be painful.
Yeah.
And I don't think it helped them in any other way that I noticed.
So help me out with this. So if we have Wisps and Dragon Lords both founding towns this turn, what's a nice round 2 town for these factions?
Well, obviously the 2 key town is always in people's minds, and certainly I've definitely seen the Dragon Lords take 2 key towns. Let's see what that does for them here. it doesn't really get them much.
It seems to be better for wisps because wisps can get the spade out of it, right? Like wisps can send this
Right.
priest to. Okay, and we do just see the
Yeah.
2-key town.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I think wisps can often do well on the cults because they they won't probably they will often not upgrade dig and often not upgrade ship, so they can send a lot of priests to cults. So they'll do okay on the cult. So that looks nice for them. I'm wondering, Dragon Lords. What favour are they to the Earth one? I was just wondering if they were going to go for like two towns somehow this round, with Earth 2 or something, with Fire 2, but no. They've taken Earth 1, and yeah, so they are going to be low on workers all game. They're probably going to want to. So what they're going to, they might well take a worker town. They could take advanced ship sometimes, especially I guess. Think here they're not really going to be building any more dwellings until around 4 or 5, so it's probably not worth taking advanced ship. Yeah, they're probably going to keep those. At least one of those 2 power tokens, probably 2. They can cycle that round and just keep down converting to coin. And so they often don't really run out of coin that badly. They just use all their power for coin. So they're going to need to find the workers somewhere. So probably a worker now.
Right. Makes sense. Thanks for mentioning that, everyone in chat. It just sounds like there's a bit of static or something coming from your end, Chris. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were having some issues with your mic when you were just setting up, and so you're actually just talking through your built-in computer
I've got
mic.
an echo cancelling speaker that I use for work.
Okay.
But I apologies if it's not working that well. Yeah, the headphones broke. Yeah, I didn't notice till the last minute.
Yeah, it's all good. Just let me know if it acts up more, folks, and we have to troubleshoot or anything like that.
Yeah, I've got a plan B if this doesn't work. Doesn't work too well, then I can do something else.
So, whose game here do you like the most?
Right, so we've been focusing on Dragon Lords and Wisps.
Yep.
I think Wisps often start pretty strong, but yeah, I don't love them that much. I think Dragon Lords. I was surprised that they were 40 faction by quite some way.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like them. I like them quite a lot. Yeah. Now they got they got all those points in round 1, and they got a load of workers from the worker action. They've got the town. That's pretty good. Let's have a look at the others. We haven't really looked at dwarves or nomads.
Yeah, so Nomad's got double dig this round. They had all that power you had mentioned in round 1. What are Nomads going to do with all their power? And they passed without taking a coins action, so they just passed on a bunch of coins and then just took double dig this round. So I mean, their temple 5 dwellings. I mean, I guess they've gotten 3 spades in the first 3 rounds.
They're getting 2 more spades in a minute.
They're getting
as
2
well.
more spades. This is nice. They sent their priest to Earth for 2 spades. Where are those spades going? Oh, H6, E6.
So they have, whether by luck or design, they have managed to avoid being the faction the Dragon Lords screw over, and I think that that was really important. You kind of got to play a bit defensively with the Volcano faction in the game, and I think they've built all of their 3 dwellings quite centrally here, even though it's edge scoring. And I wonder if they were just thinking, I don't need any connection issues here. I want to delay my stronghold, so I'm just going to make sure they can all connect. And yeah, with H6, E6, their connection is all sorted. And they're in fairly good space. They've got Earth 1. They've got a good economy.
Yep. I agree. It looks like they're kind of playing just sort of a normal Nomads game here. Like they'll just get a round 4 stronghold out and start helping carve out these towns a little bit. They have 2 more spots for spades, basically, without upgrading shipping. They get them on the cult spades. After that, they need a stronghold to start digging some of those blues and the in gray in the south, and like start making this C5 maybe, that kind of thing. So they probably just build another temple next round for water 1. Try to make sure they have enough coins to get a stronghold.
Right. Do you think they're going to get a third? They're going to get a town in the east and in the south. Do you think they're going to get a town from F4, E5? They're going to bridge onto C4. So I don't think they're getting F5 off Dragon Lords.
Sorry, like you think they won't get F5 from Dragon Lords?
Wouldn't expect so, although I say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're too heartbroken if they need to bridge and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like
But
they might just build a temple on D3 or something next round and sanctuary there, and then do like a 4 hex town with like F. If they need to bridge, then they might as well go like B5 C4 with a bridge, and then their SA is on the D3 E7 stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so really,
MTL just tuned in, says wisps are looking nice here.
yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Wisps often look nice after round 2. They don't have any temples down yet. They don't really. They aren't going to get their second town. They aren't going to get a town from one of their starting dwellings.
No.
So next round, I mean, yeah. Are they going to get? Have we got an Earth 1 left? Yeah, Dwarves haven't taken Earth 1, so they might. I guess they can get that, and yeah, they're looking fairly good. Dragon Lords are way out in terms of points. They got the priest tile. So why did they do that? I guess because of the priest for coins cult bonus next round, so they want to send a load of priests to the cults. Yeah, dwarves. I also do quite like. They are going. They've got a pretty good chance of connecting here through A7, A5, B4, and they're going to get a nice town. They just bridged through to get a nice town in the west. So I think they're low key having they're setting themselves up for a good game here. So that's going to give them. They're going to actually do fairly well on the edge scoring, probably. I mean, the best Dragon Lords at most are going to get.
Yeah, like how much more digging is our Dragon Lords have to do here, right? Like he's done one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digs already. None of them are on the edge. Like,
yeah, they're going to get 5 more at most. I would say,
right?
Because yeah, they've got the stronghold. Will give them 4. They've got 1 more power token. So really, and one of them is going to go on F5. So then they've got 4 more. They might try and be able to eke out the third town. Is it going to be 4 on the edge, like A9 to B6? But they won't have any neighbours. Or where else could it be? Yeah, it's I don't. I don't love that. They're not going to do as well on the edge scoring as they maybe should. Wisps probably will. They'll probably go up to like B1, and that might. I don't know. No, actually, that'll be contested with the dwarves, won't it?
Yeah. And dwarves will take that before wisps can get there.
Well, wisps can get there very quickly if they want to, because they can build their stronghold.
They can build their stronghold. Yeah.
Will they do that around early? Probably not.
No, but it still means I guess dwarves are going to have to take a spade again. Yeah, they're going to have to take a spade like quickly next round or something.
Where else can wisps go? But wisps might just they might instead go down to I3. So they could take I3 through to I6 perhaps and get 4 on the edge, equalize Dragon Lords. But I don't think either of them are necessarily going to. They might even they might even get I2 and be able to connect down to I1. So yeah, they might be able to overtake Dragon Lords, but it feels like dwarves are going to get maybe 5 on the edge. I don't think nomads are going to get many.
So one thing, I just want to mention a couple things MTL said. totally agree. No structures on the edge so far. This whole game is strange. I keep looking of like who's first to develop, and I mean we've been through some of this before, but it's like Dragon Lords have already done a lot of digging. Nuns on the edge. Dwarves are kind of slow to expand. I guess they'll get there. Nomads are building towns in the center fjords, which makes sense. Like they'll sandstorm some stuff on the I file, but like otherwise, like they don't seem to have a huge edge game. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see like what the actual who wins edge, but like by how much. Like I don't think it's going to be like a massive score.
Mm.
Yeah,
I mean, edge is funny because there's just such a disincentive to start on the edge. You really want to be in the great thing about Terra Mystica, you want to be near other factions
yeah,
near
totally.
and sometimes you would often see a faction like Nomads, they've got a spare, essentially a spare starting dwelling. They might go and just start on something like A8 or something to get it going a bit, or A4 or something. But they didn't this time. As I say, maybe everyone's a bit touchy, a bit sort of twitchy because of the Dragon Lord's Volcano faction being in the game.
The other thing that happened this round, that's MTL pointed out in chat, is just that like dwarves had the power for a power action when they began the round. They could have taken coins. I mean, they're all still sitting there for them anyhow, but they just first action took Earth One, which seems
Right.
really nice here for Wisps, right?
Yeah.
Like a water one doesn't seem obviously very good. Like I think Wisps here would have liked, maybe Earth One, Air One, or something like that. Having already built 3 trading posts, but so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's
All the
good.
power actions have come back to Eljaz though. Is full power and every power action is
Yeah.
available.
What did everyone else do?
There was a bit of a pylon on the air cult, basically.
Right.
Right? And
Yeah.
JDI started that off. I think JDI down converted power and then tossed a priest to air, and then both, and then
Nomad
Nomads took the
Gaming.
last one, and then Dragon Lords
Mm.
took water, built a temple for water
In Water
one.
One. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, so the Dragon Balls won't be contributing power actions for a while.
Right, of course, yeah.
And that's any power. So yeah, so it was Swiss decided the second prize was getting on that air cult. Yeah, securing the air cult pretty much. Well, that makes sense.
I'm sure
So
Eljaz
dwarf,
here
yeah,
is just trying to figure out what to do with his power. Like,
yeah,
does he just
yeah.
take double dig here because spades are
Because
great? Like,
he'll still have double dig left for him next time if he wants it, but he has taken the
he has
coins.
taken the coins.
So yeah, so I do still think the dwarves have got a good game here.
Yep.
Um, I think they're ahead of Wisps. So I would say I think they're ahead of Nomad. Nomads haven't got many points, but that's pretty okay. I mean, that's a Dragon Lord. Yeah, 4 times already. Oh, they have. They're on top of a cult.
Do
I think in my
do you think Wisps are
Dragon Lord.
building 2 temples here this round?
Yeah, I was wondering that. So yeah, the question is what they would be. So yeah, Air One makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
What would the other one be?
Water one. Suddenly, if you build a
Water
second
One.
temple, now water one starts to seem okay again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what else it would be. Air one's also nice because it'll come with the worker. Yeah.
Yeah, Water One, Water One, yeah. That does mean not good. Water Two, is it? No, do they need it to win? They're ahead. They're quite a long way ahead in 3 Colts.
Yeah.
So they need Water Two to secure those. They've got 2 keys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the extra steps on the air cult would be nice, but like air one just gives you one anyhow. I don't know.
Yeah. So yes, probably. Yeah, aren't. They're not going to compete on network. They don't need many structures to compete on to compete a bit on edge scoring. So they don't really need that building dwelling or something, to be honest. They just need to put one more tile down. I would guess. So
Yep.
they might be decide to build tall. So in which case, two temples makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
They start with water one. Yeah, start with water one
Right.
before it goes.
Just in case there's a rush on it. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, so that will
Um,
definitely be getting a temple then.
Nomads presumably taking water one here, building two more dwellings, and then maybe trying to pass onto the big building tile. Might actually see an early pass from Nomads. That building tile is just sitting there, and they have enough power for coins, you know? So, I mean, it would be nice to build out those dwellings. I mean, I think he took those spades on... Oh, those E6H6, those were his cult spades. So yeah, it would be nice to build on those, obviously, before he passes. But yeah, if I'm Nomads here, I'm trying to figure out like how greedy I can like. I'd probably build one of those, and then I'd probably consider passing, because a coins action in the big building tile is just really nice.
Mm,
I think
yeah,
Wisps probably do build this other temple. Oh, they go for a
yeah.
trading post.
They're on the trading post pass tile.
Oh, they
So,
are.
which is
Oh,
interesting.
okay.
That's interesting. Actually, there is a plan for it, I think. You know,
Maybe the argument is, I mean, F6 does seem pretty secure, especially with this location of this Nomad's temple. I mean, are Dragon Lords really going to dig F6 here? Like, I think like they just want to commit their spades to places that are more helpful, right? So,
yeah.
so, but then yeah, and then once they have F6, I guess that allows them to connect, and also there's like a world where they get G6.
I think there's definitely a role there to get G6. Again, Dragon Lords aren't going to take that from them.
But don't Dragon Lords need to? I mean, Dragon Lords need to connect.
So Dragon Lords will make sure they take F5, but that's hard. The G6 costs them
Oh,
two
G6
power.
takes them too.
So
Oh, of course, of
they don't
course.
even have.
Oh, of course. So this is like a bridge SA town.
Yeah. Thank you for the second sentence left there. Yeah, that's yeah. I did not see that. That is decent.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Dwarves could take F6. Very true. Very true. Not right now. They couldn't, but yeah, fairly soon.
The dwarves could do what?
They could. So someone's pointed out in chat. Ghostly's pointed out that
They
dwarves could
could. I
actually
think
dig.
dwarves is where they've built.
Oh,
Like, I think they have more interest in just going north
yeah.
now, B4, A5, get the edge, get connection. Maybe there's even a third town up there. Um,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
F6 is now no more interesting to them than D2 is or something or any other random hex, right? So
Yeah. It would be purely a blocking move.
yeah.
Really, it doesn't. It's not threatening on network. I wouldn't say. So, well, yeah. So it would just be the cost of a town, really.
Yeah. Although I gotta say, I'm not sure how crazy I am about what El Jazz is doing in the northwest here. Like with this bridge to C3, like that's a rough town. I guess with a stronghold it makes it easier if D1 is a stronghold.
Hmm.
Because he's just not getting any neighbors up there. So,
Yeah.
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 So, Dragon Lord's passed for the big building tile. I was really hoping Civ could get a break here and just have like a really nice round. Um,
Yeah. They can. No, they don't really
okay,
have that.
went for a trading post. Right.
Yeah, I mean the economy is still looking decent, and they do have Earth One and Water One.
Yeah. Okay, so I assume this is now going to be a pass from Civ. probably for the cult coins,
Right.
and then dwarves get 6 coins.
Neither of them don't get trading, so do they?
No, I don't think either want the trading post now.
Think dwarves aren't gonna get stronghold this round, though, are they?
Like next round?
Yeah. Well, maybe they will. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, because it's dwellings round 5. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. The sanctuary isn't that interesting right now. They have no good spot for it, right? Like it's just overkill on D4 or E8, and water 1 is gone. So they'd just be like sanctuarying for air 1 or something, which seems underwhelming. And yeah, with the dwelling round directly after, yeah, they probably just stronghold on D1 next round.
This is the thing about the dwarf stronghold. I find dwarves a really fascinating faction, and the thing about the stronghold is save your worker every time you tunnel.
Yep.
But it costs 4 workers and 6 coins.
Yep.
So from an economic point of view, unless you're tunneling, 6 or 7 times, it's not worth it.
That's
So it's
right.
only really worth it for the pure VP that it gives you and the ability to get you an extra town, to get you to a town. So obviously they do want a stronghold, but they can build it in round 6 and still get the VP and still get the town.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the reason why it's slightly more yeah, I totally agree. The dwarf stronghold, oftentimes I do the math on it and it's just not worth it because you're like, well, I'm going to tunnel 4 more times this game, and then so okay, so the workers are a wash, and now I'm just converting 6 coins into 5 points. And I took a coin town to do it. Like it just doesn't, with the big building tile and being able to hit it once in the game, like obviously that helps. But I think the reason that it's decent here is because if they didn't stronghold, they would at least need to build one more expensive trading post, right,
yeah.
to town up. So in a sense, you can, I mean, the damage is already done, so to speak. So on that town, like it is what it is. So however that town's configured with or without fire 2, like
Yeah.
however it's done, like the stronghold is always also saving 3 coins now from this board state. So at least it's sort of a 4 worker 3 coin stronghold. So that does help.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And if you're going to get it eventually, then getting it now saves you two workers or three or four workers over getting it around 6. So yeah, I think we do it. So Dragon was the back in the mind. They got 5 power tech, which means so Wisps need to take. Well, do they need to take F6 straight away? Maybe not. They're thinking about their digging options.
F6, I mean, gosh, doesn't Halai just want to dig his town in the south and get some edge scoring? What does F6 do?
Yeah, very possibly. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, Wisps. We saw Wisps sort of chicken out of that decision on G3. Are they gonna stay strong on F6? I think you're right that Dragonlords don't take F6.
I mean, this is my very pacifist sort of gameplay coming in. Like, if I were Wisps here, I would float F6 and just give the other players at this table a benefit of the doubt that they're gonna like try to form towns and make endgame scoring and not like dig my hex because I just like I don't know. I would float that for a while. I mean, I guess the thing is like there's I would almost think that nomads might be more likely to take it.
Yeah,
Like it
they
saves
might
a
also want.
sanctuary. Like I don't know.
They might also want to put their stronghold on F6, because that the stronghold is how they won't get their stronghold on their third town, if you see what I mean, because
Right.
their stronghold is how they're starting their third town.
So we do see Wisps double dig and take F6.
I'm just taking something else, right?
So a thing that like I've been sort of trying to work out in my head a little bit as I've just like been watching this game and thinking about Wisps
And
more as a faction is like when do you take double dig and like like there's almost a giant is there almost a giants thing there where it's like double dig is just like I know there isn't exactly Wisps meta yet, but like double dig
Mhm.
has to just be more inefficient for them because they could have just built a trading post. I don't know how that
Yeah, but then there's
works.
there's the awkward spots. So, for instance, yeah, how do you get from I3 to I5, for instance? So you might upgrade on trading post on I3 to turn I2 green, and then you've still got to use double dig. So there'll be the awkward spots where they need it. So F6 was a good example where they needed a single. So they actually only single dug on F6, and then they put the other spade on C4.
Right.
So I don't.
Right, because
I guess,
you need a productive place to put a trading post in the first place.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I see.
In fact, F6 will not be a productive place. I mean,
Well,
if we had to
is it
even
not?
build.
Because I mean, if they want a town there,
Oh yeah. I mean, they put a trading post there, but they won't get any digs from it because the dig needs to be adjacent to the hex.
oh right. Oh, that's
So
brutal.
yeah, so they will only want. So they will. I think they will make. Oh, they've only got one worker left. So they're not going to get either of their big buildings this time. This round.
Right. So probably they stronghold and sanctuary there in round 6 to avoid having to build 2
Mm.
trading posts.
Yeah. So that in which case they are going to actually. So yeah, they're actually going to expand. They're not going to use a stronghold to fly anywhere crazy this round. They are going to just expand via C4. So they have an advanced ship. They're going to go C4, B3, B4,
Mm-hmm.
maybe for the third town. But the dwarves will have something to say about that. But will they have something to say in time? Yes.
Now let me just
So
ask you a question about wisps. So you get the spade adjacent to the trading post you just built. Can you use shipping? So is indirect adjacency also okay? In other words,
no,
if E4 was a dwelling in this state and I built it as a trading post, I couldn't now spade C4 because I have a temporary shipping.
mm, that's right.
Direct adjacency only. I assume bridges are allowed.
Bridges are fine. Yeah, which
Bridges
wisps
are
adapt.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, dwarves did take their
Okay, they
sanctuary.
did go
So
sanctuary. I mean, yeah, interesting.
are they? Do you think they're worried about their connection though? Do you think they're confident they're going to get to? They're going to. They'll be able to get to B4 before wisps when they. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? Oh, Wisps just upgraded ship. Okay, because I was gonna say, what are Wisps doing productive? Like their temp ship was seeming a little sad this round. Otherwise, I mean, except for getting to G6, but now so they just went 2 ship and they're gonna build a dwelling and be on B3 this round.
Mm,
So now B4 does seem like it's under
yeah.
a good bit of threat.
Mm,
Yeah, and Dwarves option without the landscape here are closing in, right? Because I mean, if they
mm,
had the landscape, I mean, D2 is an option.
mm.
Um,
No, they need B4.
there's they could double dig A4 late or something and connect down. Like they'd have some options, some sort of get out of jail free
Yeah.
cards. But here
Yeah.
it's like pretty cut and dry. Like they just need B4 or C4,
They
like
need
or B
B4.
like
They'll need to either pass before wisps or take it this round.
yeah. And I mean they can
Shield.
just take single spade here.
Yes, they can take single spade.
Do
Um,
they really need double dig like this game still? Like they have their towns carved out. Like they just want to jump around. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, so maybe they will do that, but it's painful. It's two worker tunnel just when they're going to build the stronghold later. It's just before a dwelling round, but
Yeah, but I
actually
mean,
done.
I don't. Is it that painful? I mean, what's the pain point? Like, they're not building their stronghold here anyhow because I think the
Mm,
read was that it's a bit of a trap and it's not actually that good. Fair enough. Um,
yeah,
um, like what? And then otherwise, so they're building a dwelling out of round. So that's just them paying 2 victory
yeah.
points for a worker, right? Like that's just like that's like what a worker town costs. And then they're burning below 6.
Mm. And the other thing that wisps, I was just trying to work out the dig on C4 from wisps. Um, yeah, either they're hoping to beat dwarves to B4, but that feels quite a
Ambitious.
bit ambitious. And the other thing it does is makes the nomads the town harder.
It does. Yeah, it really does. Yeah. So Wisps took G6 and Dragon Lords took F5 as we expected, and suddenly it's like,
Yeah,
Nomads, world is getting smaller there.
yeah. they've got their stronghold now. They can
They
still get their town
do. I
build
mean,
on B5.
yeah, I was
They
just
need,
gonna
they need,
say. I mean, that's now what you want to do here as nomads is. Well, actually, they could take care of that pretty easily. I mean, they could upgrade ship. They could single spade B5, and then they
mm,
could take C4 next round.
yeah, and then hope there's still a bridge left over. I mean, is there any wisp? Is there any bridge pressure here? The wisps need one.
Wisps need a
Dwarves
bridge.
don't,
Dwarves
so
don't. Dwarves might do a weird bridge on E2 just as a block.
oh yeah, good point. Um, yeah, I mean, nomads are short on coins in particular at the moment, so even that advanced ship is going to be
Totally.
important.
Yeah, an advanced ship followed by a single spade is like not an insignificant coin investment. Um, the other thing I just wanted to mention quickly is we see a trading post on D1. That could be just getting that Air 1 to start to work for you, but I think it's probably a stronghold coming in because while we were talking about,
Hmm.
I don't know, something, dwarves took workers.
Right. Yes. Okay. Interesting. So they can get a
So
stronghold
is
there.
that to build a stronghold? I would assume. I mean, if they just wanted a trading post to get their Air 1 to start producing VP, then they probably would have just built the trading post. Like they didn't need workers for that. Um,
They've got to be they've got to be worried about passing after wisps though. If they haven't taken B4.
yeah, I don't really know. And like, yeah, this seems really risky because they seem to like be uh in terms of network and edge. I mean, actually, how in the heck do
Hmm.
I guess the initial statement I was going to make was like, are they in the running to like get some edge points?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question. As you said,
And
it's going to be quite a slow race. I don't think anyone's going to get much more than four.
so like
Um,
floating your connection is not just floating network; it's floating both
mm,
endgame score. Like it's a huge float, right? Like
yeah,
floating connection
uh,
is always risky, but when you have fire and ice scoring on and you're like actually want to
yeah,
compete for it, you haven't just punted it. It's like okay, now you're like you're floating like another 18 point option for you.
mm.
It's huge. So yeah, this is pretty risky stuff.
And I would feel like wisps are incentivized to take B4 to block their connection because they would be behind dwarves in
Sure.
both edge scoring and network. So they need B4 and C4 to block dwarves and connect. Um, and that might even get. I mean, does that even get in the third town? Maybe. So with A3 as well. So I think it is risky.
Oh, I'm just going back to some of the MTL messages here. If dwarves are going to upgrade digging, which feels possible given all the workers. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I mean they do have quite a few workers coming in. They've got those extra few from the air track and Earth 2 and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Then I don't think anyone is taking A3.
Well, you say that. I think A3 would be part of a Wisp's third town, if they were able to get to one. I think it's I haven't done the math to see if they could possibly get there.
That
Um,
seems yeah, that seems like a lot of stuff. So that's four more digs, a bridge, sanctuary stronghold. It's a lot of
a lot of the digs will come for free.
yeah, for sure. I guess yeah, they're building if they build a
The team,
stronghold, they're building three more trading posts this game, so they just need to come up with one dig.
but yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting point. The other thing I love about dwarves, I think a lot of the way they really lend themselves to stockpiling resources towards the end of the game because it's like, well, I could build this dwelling now, but I might as well wait till I've built my stronghold next round and then sell it
Right,
to
that's
work.
true.
I could dig this hex now, or I could wait till I've upgraded digs next round and then do it. So yeah, they can often end up with large amounts towards the end.
Yep.
May not happen here because yeah, they might.
We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see. It's El Jazz's turn. I'm curious if this could be a stronghold we see coming in. Um,
Mm.
there's also
Um,
there's passing considerations here. I mean, that big building tile is just sitting there. What else do nomads
one.
are going to pass? Right? Like nomads have nothing else to do unless they want to take a priest for some weird reason. So nomads are going to pass, which means dwarves are going to end if they build a stronghold with priests and 2 coins or a TP tile. Right? And that TP tile is going to look pretty sad going into a dwelling round with no TPs on the board. Like, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and that was a bump on the air cult. What was?
Right.
Oh, was that
That
with
was
this priest?
yeah. Priest to the Aircon. I did not see that coming. For one, yeah.
Okay, so it is another trading post. It is not. It is not the stronghold. Okay, which does make this pass look a lot nicer now. I wonder. I'm curious if Eljaz changed his mind based on how this passing was going to happen. Because I mean, this
All right.
is kind of nice,
Well,
like building a bunch of trading posts. Now being able to pass for more points on Air One onto the TP tile, and it gives him more dwellings to be able to build next round. He's got good workers. This is giving them the coins. Like I
mm-hmm,
wonder if the plan was stronghold initially, but once like
mm-hmm,
he started being able to figure out the passing, how passing was working, and that this was sort of his option, he actually changed his plan
mm.
a bit. I kind of get the
That
sense
is
that
nice.
might have been what it was.
Yeah, that is nice. If it works, and yeah, he's got the power for a dig action.
Mm-hmm.
And if wisps don't take B4 now, it'd be a brave dwarf to not dig on B4 straight away.
So this is either
Um,
single spade or an expensive trading post.
yeah, I think it would be an expensive trading post.
Yeah.
Juggernautes have managed to get a power action, so they managed to get the 7 coins.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that is good for them, and now they can start. Now they can dig 4 more. They'll advance. Oh, they got advanced ship at least once. They'll build 5 dwellings this round. Or will they?
Oh,
Maybe they'll advance actually once. No,
okay. JDI sends the last priest to water.
okay.
So it's yeah.
Okay. Did that feel did that feel necessary to you? I feel like did it feel urgent? I suppose is the
I
question.
mean, I don't know. I mean, not urgent. I mean, maybe nomads, I guess, would have sent a priest to water to. I don't know.
Nonetheless, is saying nomads won't bother towning on C4 anyway. They should build a whole other town all along the edge, somewhere.
Yeah, Matt, I totally agree. Round 5 and 1 total edge building crazy. I mean, I guess the thing is it's like, are wisps like if wisps do take B4 and then C4, it's just like more digging that is not edge. Like someone eventually has to actually. There we go.
Yay!
Okay, we're playing the game. So this has got to be single spade. It's better than a hard dig. Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Nice, nice,
Right.
nice. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And now we can just
Uh,
build a dwelling on A5 straight up. Tunnel to A7 is 4 workers. Oh, this is really nice. Eljaz has just enough to do A5, A7, and E2 tunnels and end with exactly 7 dwellings, 3 trading posts. Like,
love.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that
that's
feels good.
super clean. Love this. I don't know how he builds the town. Well, I guess the thing is going way back to some, well, another comment by Matt. Where does Wisp's stronghold dwelling go?
B1 option, right?
Yeah, maybe Eljaz is just hoping for that.
it looks like Wisps are going to try and connect. I'm just want to work out if they're going to actually get any network points. Because Dragon Lords are going to. We pretty much know what Dragon get down to. They're going to go down to. Well, yeah, only 12 structures. So yeah, Wisps should be able to beat that.
Right.
Nomads will do a lot better than that. Okay, well, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Wisps just need a trading post and 5 dwellings, and they beat Dragon Lord's network.
Cool. They might struggle to get up to Dwarves and Nomads, but that's okay. Still worth doing. Yeah, edgewise, we think Dragon Lord should really be getting 4 on the edge. Dwarves are now going to get at least 3.
They'll and they'll get a 4th somewhere.
4, yeah.
Maybe not more than that though. Right? Like they can dig E1 or A1 if they want to do another tunnel. I don't know that they get much more than that. 4. Nomads have 1 more sandstorm.
Sorry, I made a mistake. Dragon Lords are going to get to 13. I forgot they already had.
Oh, 1 dug. Yeah, I totally didn't count that either.
Sorry, you're saying Nomad. So Dragon Lords have taken I6. It looks like they're giving up on a third town, which I think makes sense.
Who has?
Dragon Lords are going I6 because that's not going to form a town. I guess it might. Does it annoy Nomads? Not particularly.
And so, but I guess the thing is with Dragon Lords is so they just dig 3 more dwellings on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just go I7, I8, I9, just build dwellings.
Well, they can't do I7. That's the problem.
Right. So they do I8.
Yeah, I8, I9, H8 or something, but it won't form a town.
No, for sure.
Theoretically, I think it could have done.
But it just means that they'll have 4 edge.
Yeah.
So dwarves will want to like dig 2 edges.
Mm-hmm. No, the Wisps have just dug A2, so clearly they've got plans up there for sure.
Yeah, so this is nice for dwarves. Like dwarves can build another temple and then build 2 trading posts, I guess. I don't know if that's what they want to do. But I mean, they'll have neighbors on C1 and C2.
Oh, I see. Yes, yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't have water 1, so building temples into more TPs isn't really the greatest sequence, especially not given the track and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
So you're not sure they're going to get their stronghold at all?
Maybe they do next round. Depends on whether they can get Nomad's pass style. Right? Like they're after Nomads. They're all done. Right? Dwarves are happy to pass.
Yeah.
But they have 2 priests. Pardon?
Yeah, Nomads have got a few more dwellings to build.
Right, because with Nomads on shipping, they're gonna build. Yeah, they're gonna build 3 dwellings. So dwarves are gonna pass before Nomads. So they end up on they might even pass first. So they end up on coins or something like cult coins. So I don't know. They probably just build a stronghold, I guess.
So who is gonna get that the pass tiles? Because I think I think there's some faction out there that would like them. Wisps in particular would like either of those.
I mean, I guess Halai could pass. Halai was happy to pass, I think, now. He'd rather build a dwelling.
Sure.
Right? Like, he'd rather build a dwelling on I8 for the extra 2 points, but it isn't any extra econ.
This is something I've been wondering. I'd like to get your thoughts on how often do you think about early part? You know you're not going to get a pass tile around, scoring tile around 6. How often do you think about an early pass just to force other people to pass early? So it's also going to send a priest here, right? But if they pass now, that kind of that's likely to have some kind of limitation on the other players because they'll start rushing for it. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes everyone then just like plays out nicely for another 6 turns, and you're sitting there thinking, "Oh, I should have done this or that." Or
Yeah, sometimes I probably cave on passing a little bit too early, because I don't really think about the like doing some slightly inefficient and annoying stalls just to like force someone else to pass for a tile they don't want. Like for me, like often the way I play it is that, like, if I think I can stall for a different pass tile, I'll do all kinds of wonky stuff to make it happen. But as soon as I've realized it's inefficient, I'm like pretty greedy and don't want it. Like if I don't want my priests to be cult bumps, I want them to be workers. Like as soon as I have to do it, like pay anything too much for it, like I'm just gonna pass if I think I'm going to lose. So I'll just give up and be like, well, I'll just take 4 coins and a cult step and a 7 coin action and be happy with that. But
yeah,
sometimes it's rolling over too easy because then you just like the person behind you who's like is like ready to pass and loves that you have just given them a fast tile, and sometimes I sort of kick myself for not like at least
yeah.
forcing them to pass first onto something they don't want. But yeah.
Stereologist did send a priest to fire for 1 here, which can only really be construed as a holding move. So I don't know what he's holding
Yeah,
for.
because
Uh,
Halai would like to stay in here, right? Like Halai can actually build a trading post and 2 dwellings.
yeah, yeah. He's not gonna outlast Dragon Lords or Nomads. I mean, he might. He could outlast Wisps. He might. But I'm not sure why he'd want to. They're not going to get a pass. They're not going to get a scoring tile either way. Does he particularly want the 3 worker power? Worker power? I wouldn't have thought so.
Now, as Dragon Lords, like, is it a common enough or reasonable thing for Halai to just burn his last power token off and just like have no power
Mm.
tokens?
Well, it obviously hurts because then you're losing that 3 power income. You're already losing some of it.
Right.
Um, so it does hurt, but so you want to hold on to 1 power for as long as possible because that's where you're getting your coin from. If you think about
Right.
how
You're
often
getting free
1
power.
power will take you through, I mean that's gonna. It's not just your income. It's every time it upgrades next to you for the rest of the game. You essentially get a coin for a victory point. And if you
Right.
send a priest to the cult, you're getting a coin. And if you don't have any power tokens,
Right.
then you're losing out on a whole lot of coins. So I think it is a big decision, and yeah, that probably does explain why I thought he was going to get the 2 worker town on his second town. He took the 11 victory point one instead, which means he can't build his another dwelling anyway.
Right. Right. Because
Without. Oh, he can
he
convert
could,
it.
and I was just wondering, like, down convert the priest. But I mean, at this point, it's not even any extra econ. It's just 2 victory points and a
You'll get.
stall, right? But at the cost of getting whatever trickle of power income he'd get from his trading post and his stronghold, and as you said, the 2-for-1s, the free power, all that kind of stuff, the cult power.
Yeah, I'd say I would do it for the stall. I think the thing is here, Dragon Lords are running out of ways to score. They're not going to build their sanctuary. I would, or will they build their sanctuary? Um,
I mean, probably
well,
like
they
a
might as well. I suppose they
might
might as
they
well, but because they've what else can they get points from doing? They're going to build
trading
one more.
posts.
Yeah, trading posts.
Air
Is
one,
that
like they could just temple trading post, which is the same cost, and that's going to be 7 points as opposed to 5.
right?
Like probably it's just a temple and some trading posts and one more dwelling.
Unless they can get fiery with their sanctuary,
Yeah,
but or the tip of the temple, I suppose. Yeah.
wisps are
So
1 power short of the bridge. Yeah, that's a good flag map. We haven't been talking about wisps, that they haven't sorted out their bridge woes. Are there other bridges that folks need this game? No.
yeah, so it might just be that block. Yeah,
But
right.
someone could block a wisp town pretty easily.
Are they are they getting the town? Have they got enough stuff for the town?
Right, because
Um,
they need a sanctuary, trading post, stronghold, or
yeah,
yeah.
or five. So that's 10, and it's
Well,
the cheapest.
presumably they want to build their stronghold anyhow. And if they didn't build their stronghold, they would need a trading post. So they might as well just trading post stronghold, not fire too. Like I think there's a trading post and a stronghold in their future anyhow, isn't there? Unless wisps are just not building their stronghold.
So they would have to get a worker from somewhere to be able to do that.
Right. I
That's
mean,
fine. They can get a priest
they have two
or get a worker
priests.
action. And they can't get the worker action. So yeah, they'd have to burn down a priest. So then that would pretty much be the end of their income. They'd probably just get a dwelling on A1 and there if they're getting sold.
Matt
Um,
says probably TPs are better.
I mean, they could. Are they still possibly getting 2 more towns if they manage to get B2?
Gosh. So it's a sanctuary. So it's skip the stronghold,
So
sanctuary
take
for
five,
fire 2, trading post, and then
and then
expensive
stronghold on
TP on
B1.
A2 to dig B2 and then do another dig on it like that. Is
Yeah,
that seems insane. And any power they get just has to be their bridge.
yeah, yeah. You're right. That seems unlikely.
Seems like a lot.
Um, so we're looking points wise. So yeah, Dragon Lords are out in front by 20 points.
They are.
Uh, gonna they are they gonna come bottom in network? And they are on 0 power. So really, did decide to do that. I don't know if they had to do that to stall to get the big building tile, or whether they just did it for the points. But really, they are going to get the sanctuary now, presuming now they've got the big building tile, and that's just all they're going to do.
Right.
Uh, and
And they are
trade.
getting last in network because nomads and dwarves, like they're gonna get 0 network points, right?
I'm just trying to work out if Wisps are going to get ahead of them in network. I
Well,
mean, Wisps
lists
still
have
need.
2 blues open. And
Yeah,
then they just need to build a trading post and then spade somewhere and build on it. But I guess JDI is just really pushing for this town. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if this town comes at the cost of a network and any trickle of edge, it's just not correct. Like it can't be good because
mm,
like you could just like build a trading post on F2, build a dwelling on F1, dwelling
yeah,
G2 to dwelling A1. I think that's just like that's now 6 network points ahead of Dragon Lords, and it's
4 on the edge.
another edge, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah. Maybe they.
maybe wisps are just never getting any edge points here because even if they did that, it would just be 1, 2. Oh no, that would be 4 edge.
It would be 4, yeah.
Yeah,
It's also on 3, and
yeah.
will get a fourth.
Will who get a
Uh,
fourth?
dwarfs.
They have right. They have 3. Are they going to get a fourth?
I assume so. Uh, yeah, go to E1 or A9.
Can DL afford SA in a ship? Who's DL?
Can do
Oh,
other for
Dragon
SM.
Lords.
Oh, they're not actually connected yet. Haha.
That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 resources. They can if they can get 2 power off their SA, I think. So they take
They
one.
haven't got power. They won't get any power, so I say.
Right. I was just gonna say water too, duh. Um,
Yeah, this is the
this
weird
is the
thing
weird
about
thing.
turning down to 0. You
Right, and
just
they can't leech it. They can't just be like, well, they'll just get a 2 for 1.
yeah. No, this is what they've got. Hmm. Guess that's
So
a no then. Guess that's a no. Um, so they might have decided that. I mean, what's maybe only getting, yeah, no, because they
Seem to be kind of breaking up there, Chris. Let me see what's going on. One thing that I'm just trying to wrap my head around here a little bit, which I'll just talk about as I'm waiting for Chris to get back, is like, I just feel like none of these factions, unless I just have like totally missed the math here, it seems like the edge scoring is just like so contentious right now that like lots of it's that this whoever wins is not going to have that many edge scoring. Like if someone had just like made a massive lead in edge scoring, you might just be like, well, whatever, I'll just make another town. But it seems like most of these factions, if they just put in the effort, they'd be able to be competitive for it. And it seems like people are doing a lot of things other than that. Like you see the Wisps town coming in, Dwarves built a stronghold. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see like whoever the winner is of edge scoring, how many that's actually going to be. Dwarves are now in a position where they can take 5, though. That's really nice. All right, what do we have left here? So Nomads still have a pile of resources. They've got their Sandstorm action. Looks like they just built a TP. They built 2 dwellings. And is that probably it? What is they're at 2 shipping. So they are connected. Once they build 2 dwellings, they'll still have a bunch of resources left. I wonder, do they have enough for a temple and another TP and another dwelling? That doesn't seem right. 5, 6, 7, 21 resources. They do, but they don't have hexes for them all. Is the problem. So it's not super clear to me what Nomads are doing with the resources. They have 1 Sandstorm. So they probably just... Is there a hex? Can they hard dig somewhere on the edge and then Sandstorm an edge? I think the answer is no. Like they can just Sandstorm I4 for an edge. You guys think Dwarves have this in the bag now? So they have decent cults. Oh, I see. There we go. Thanks, Matt. That's the hex. It's like where can they hard dig? If they're gonna hard dig, they want to hard dig an edge, and then they want to be able to Sandstorm an edge. And like, yeah, A9 is totally the play there. So I don't know if Civ just kind of slept on that, but the fact that Dwarves were able to stronghold into a double dig action is just like really sick. Oh, this is great. Yeah. TP for a town. Be interested to see what they take here. I've not been calcing out anyone's end game here, so I have no idea what else Dwarves are trying to do. They obviously have second in network. The question is, I mean, Nomads will still beat them in network, I guess is the thing. Nomads can just hard dig somewhere and Sandstorm and just have more structures. So there's no point for Dwarves to try to get a trading post and 2 dwellings here. It's just 1 dwelling. That's enough for second in network. They'll have 1, 2. They'll have 5 edge, which will beat Nomad's edge. So Dwarves will get first in edge scoring, second in network. Someone in chat correct me if I'm wrong there. So they're just taking a high VP town. Oh, it is a worker town. What is that all about? Oh, they still need to build their dwelling. I see. And they want to save. They don't want both of those, all their priests, to be coins. Right. So dwarves build a dwelling, and then they have 2 priests, which they can just use as bumps on the cult. Secure their position on air, etc. Yeah, it's a nice score from El Jazz. Gets 2 more points, and then he passes for 3 is 5. He'll then have 18 in edge, 12 in network. He's got 113 on the board right now. Presumably he can maintain his edge on air, even if he has to bump a couple priests. He's got earth. It's hard to say whether he'll have a point on fire or not, but that's 165 I'm coming up with. Can't nomads dig H7? Sandstorm I9. Oh, and then I10 build. So, and then get a third, free up a third dwelling through a temple? Can they do that? 18, 19, 20. They might be able to. Yeah, they might be able to though. With I mean, someone tell me if I'm crazy here, but with a little bit of leech, or if they temple for air 3, can they take single spade and afford to TP dwelling? Not enough coins? No.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What have I missed? Sorry. Wow. Headphones and Wi-Fi gone in one in the same stream. What have I missed?
So I think if nomads get literally 1 power. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Matt, as well. And I think if nomads were to get 1 power and then build a temple for fire 3 with and then take single spade, they would have enough coins to temple trading post 3 dwelling. Okay, so the play that we're looking at right now is whether or not nomads could possibly get out 3 dwellings here.
Right.
And I think it's awfully close. Oh, he just sandstormed something else. What did he sand? Oh, he just sandstormed I4. Okay, the dream is dead. Yeah, so the play was, if you look in the bottom right of the game board, H7, I9, I10.
Yeah.
The question was, can they dig H7 through shipping, like just through a spade or a hard dig, sandstorm I9 or H8 or whatever, and then open up another dwelling?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was a world there with a bit more leech and like a fire 3 is your favor or something like that he could have done it. Yeah, me too, Matt. Which would have been crazy. Yeah, that would have been super nuts. But in
so
lieu,
they're getting to 15 anyway.
Yeah, so I think the thing is that without nomads doing that, then it means dwarves come in second for network, but they come in first in edge scoring. They secure air. They get another 2-point dwelling with Earth 1, and they're 165.
I think dwarves are going to win this then.
Think so, yeah.
Yeah, it looks maybe by fair way.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Dragon Lords did connect instead of taking Boom the Sanctuary, but they're still not going to get loads of end game scoring, are they?
Yeah, so they're going to be down to. Are they going to get third in network? Wisps would have to get down 2 dwellings here to tie. Yeah, and they will. So Halai is going to tie for third in network, right?
Yeah. And the Wisps dwellings, will they both be on the edge?
No, well,
It
I mean
could be.
A1 and G2.
Yeah, I was wondering whether they could get to F1.
Well, they don't have any
But
trading posts left.
then no. Well, I suppose unless they hard dig, but no, that's not an
No.
option, is it? They haven't didn't put their stronghold down at all.
So they'll end up with 3 edge scoring. Just what does that even help? That doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't, right?
no.
No. So wisps end up uh, with 3 network. 3 network. They don't have any edge points. They will, however, have 22 cult. They pass for 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's not a ton. I'm getting like 129 here for wisps, maybe 130. So it's Dragon Lords are second here. Yeah, Matt,
Right.
I mean, I'm probably the most like anti-town person.
Yeah,
I
that's an
often think
expensive.
towns can be a big especially with Fire and Ice edge game scoring. I often find like building towns is just sometimes hurts your ability to compete for network, and building big buildings doesn't allow you to like just get more structures out. Like if you have Earth 1, you can just build more dwellings, all that kind of stuff. But especially when it's like it's a sanctuary and a bridge, and there's Fire and Ice scoring on, like just being more expansive and being less tall is just like incentivized that much more. So yeah, I think that was a bit of a trap.
Good point. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, digging F6 was important
For sure.
to get that, and then yeah, then yeah, your eyes kind of light up, and think, oh, I can get against a sanctuary town here. But you're right.
Totally. And it's
It's
very sneaky, right? Like you get F6 because you need to connect, and then you're on G6, and then it's like, well, I need to, round 6 is big building, might as well SA. Like it's you're so close, but
they got fire too. Yeah, they'd take fire too as well, just for that town. Yeah. Whereas if they built the stronghold instead of a sanctuary, that's cheaper, gets you a free dwelling.
yep.
Yeah. Do they? Yeah, exactly. You get more. You get a load more than to gain scoring points.
And so Halai is like has 4 cult points, and did we say he's got 3 end games? So he's 137, and wisps are like 130,
Okay.
and dwarves 165.
Yeah.
Sorry, nomads. What are nomads? I guess nomads are second here. Yeah, they've got a pass tile. They've got a million resources. I have no idea what they're doing. Are they just like upgrading digs and building a dwelling? I don't know.
Snake's wondering why they connected via C4.
Yeah, it's a good
Which is a good
question.
point.
As opposed to just going D2 and doing it off of 2 ship. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a good point. I mean, they when they dug C4 down to black with a kind of free double, the second spade of a double dig.
Yeah.
Part of the reason, but yeah, actually, they when they did dig C4, they could have done D2 instead. Yeah, yeah, fair point.
Nomads have like 10 on the cult. And then they'll win network outright, but they'll have second in edge. They'll pass for 8, and they've got 94. And they're still going to build a dwelling. So they're 144 when they build their dwelling, plus whatever else they do with their stuff. Which is like buy a priest, upgrade digs, have a resource point. I don't know. 150 something.
Gotta say, I'm in awe of anyone who can work out what points people are going to get at the end of a game. I think maybe my internet just did me a favor. Like, do you know what? This last 20 minutes of the stream, you're not going to be any help at all because I just cannot do it. I regularly think I've lost a game and end up winning it.
Oh, really? Just trying to tally up the.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've got a maths degree. It's not. It shouldn't be beyond me, but for some reason, it's just. I just. I think to be fair, I think it's just a case of like at the end of a long game of Terra Mystica,
Yeah.
my brain is just like, nah, I'm just gonna leave that bit. I'm gonna leave that bit to the computer, thanks.
Yeah, I've definitely had
Uh,
like post long Terra game brain where it's like I could count this, but it's so painful that I'm not going to. Like, and that happens on stream sometimes where I'm just like, I'm not gonna go through this right now. And then trying to count like, okay, this is the end game breakdown, unless, and then you start going through variations, right? Like, yeah, it gets to be a little wild.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So nomads used their priest on a cult. What did they bump? Water? I don't know. I think I can. This thing scrolls, doesn't it? No, I guess it doesn't. Also, apologies, folks. I'm logged into BGA through my webberaj account, not through my webberaj live account. So you're seeing notifications for every person in the world who's online and offline.
So do you know anything about this webberaj player?
Webberaj. I don't know. Someone who really likes building early sanctuaries, I would expect.
I
No,
mean,
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how long they've been around, but they're pulling up trees in this ladder. I think they're probably going to be
Oh,
in the
really?
top 5 next week. So then you might end up commentating on
I
them.
might be commentating on Webberaj. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the
Ha,
question
ha,
is
ha.
who isn't in the Fire and Ice ladder? Like it's most likely, I don't know, Super Zarni,
Right.
like
So how easy is it to change your name on BGA, or is it just alt
oh, I
accounts?
think it's an alt account, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Super. Yeah.
So who isn't playing like a bunch of games and like sometimes they'll still put their actual country and they won't make that up, but sometimes that can help. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll do some detective work, find out. But
Yeah.
they're pretty good. So yeah, it's not just
But
anyone.
they joined the Discord. They have a separate Discord account because I think there's a Webberage in my Discord.
Okay.
So I have no idea.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
assume everything is Super Zarni. I blame everything on him usually, but it might not always be accurate. Super is in the ladder. Okay, so Super would not play
Right.
twice. It's from Germany. I don't
Uh,
know.
anyway, yeah. Is that a common occurrence? Getting alt accounts named after you?
Not for me per se. I mean, obviously there are a lot of alts, and I think like
Yeah.
probably 6 months, like 6 months to a year ago, like there was like a lot of alts. It sort of became like, it became a running joke, and so more people were just like started doing it. I
Mm.
don't keep that close of attention to that kind of stuff, so there could be other alts out there. I have no idea. I haven't been in the discords and stuff as much as of late, so who knows.
I've only ever done one alt account on Snellman for when I wanted to really crack Riverwalkers. I played about 20 or 30 games with
Oh,
them.
really?
Uh, I asked my classicist friend what I could call Riverwalkers, and he said, like, I suggested Anthropotamus, and he said that's just completely like murdering two classical languages. Don't do that. So I did that.
That's great.
uh, it's supposed to be, yeah, human, a person of the river or something. Um, but that's my only foray. Right, so we're looking at Dwarf's victory here.
Yeah, so there's some weird stuff happened on the air call. It's like when it came down to
Mm.
Civ dumping their last points, it's like an air 3 was involved, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. They're asking about how you round the scores on the Colts. See
How did that
why.
work, actually? Oh, it was 4 each.
For
So you
each,
round
yeah.
you round down. Was it over 4.5? It's 8. Oh, interesting. So they round down because it would be more than 4.5 points each,
Right.
using the integer math.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually think about that. So it is dwarves in the 160s, nomads, almost breaking.
Let me
Oh,
type
how
quickly.
did I have Dragon Lords completely off? Dragon
Oh.
Lords are a lot closer than I thought. I had them at. Didn't I have one Dragon? I can't
130.
remember what I said for Dragon Lords. For some reason, I had Dragon Lords much closer to Wisps or something.
Right. But
Um.
we
Well, congratulations to Eljaz. That was a
yeah.
really cool dwarves game. Remember how I said I was looking
Yeah.
for someone to play a really monstered dwarves game that I could live vicariously through and really take advantage of edge scoring? I think I said that at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the table and just send a message to the table chat and just ask Eljaz to jump into the channel that we're in? I will
Yeah.
give them access to do so. We'll get Eljaz on in a moment.
On the on your Discord.
Yes. Yes. Just a second here, folks. Yeah. Hold on, folks. I'm bad at eating up time while I'm trying to do something. There, I just sent him an invite. And he can jump into this when he
I'm
gets here.
just buffing him up a bit. I'm telling him how much I like the Dwarves game. But yeah,
Oh,
no,
good.
definitely. Yeah, just connecting that kind of slightly east of center bit with the west. You know, it's never. I thought D1. I was a bit worried about D1 because it felt a bit out of the loop. There, and we were but it actually it was a perfect place to go to expand west and connect over through the north. So it did make sense. And yeah, again, did the crucial thing of staying out of the Dragon Lord's way entirely. Which we see that Wisps are with a faction that got hit by the Dragon Lords, and that's why they've come last.
Right. You had said early on that there was sort of like a correlation there of like when trying to figure this kind of stuff out, it's like who are Dragon Lords most incentivized to kind of mess up.
Yeah,
For
so you
sure.
just out that way, but they were unlucky. Yeah, they placed their last dwelling before Dragon Lords did, and then took their first move after Dragon Lords did.
Right.
So, tough.
Oh, is that Eljaz?
Yeah.
Welcome, and congrats on the amazing Dwarves game. It was so sick. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get the sound to work for a second for me.
How's Eljaz sounding, everyone? Who's our resident will tell me if things are not sounding good in chat. It's like usually Ghostly or like Snake, if he's around, will tell me that my audio is trash.
I think the sound is
I think we're good.
I'm just trying to get it to connect to my headphones for myself.
Okay, fair enough. Well, while you're tinkering around with that, just walk us through your sort of game plan, like going into this game as dwarves. I'm just sort of curious what your game plan was like at the beginning of this game and how that might have sort of changed as things unfolded.
I felt like I had a really good chance for the double spade at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty good about how that would get things started. And I think that I guess my general plan was to just open with the Temple for Earth 2, and I ended up making 2 trading posts in the first round, I think. Just because I knew I was going to dedicate a lot of my early game to building a bunch of dwellings in the second round. So I really wanted to make a town in the second round, but it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm. In the second round, you were planning on a town?
I would have liked to, but the Wisp were able to town like almost immediately for the 2-key town, and it just didn't. I would have had to sacrifice quite a bit to make it work.
But did you even have a path for that? Because you had a temple on E8, trading post D4, dwelling C6, end of round 1, right? And then, unless I missed something, like you would have needed a double dig and then go D3, D5 dwellings or something, or a dwelling in another trading post.
I think I would have had to not build the trading post. In the extra trading post in the first round.
Right.
And then I could have single spaded to build like 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings in the second round.
Oh, because you took a worker action to get the second trading post up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, obviously. So you spent your power as opposed to just using your naturally producing workers the following round to then build the trading posts and the dwelling.
Yeah, it would have looked something like that.
Right.
I was just, I guess, as the game went on, it was just taking longer and longer to get the connection hexes up north, and I started to get worried about Wisp like taking that B4 hex.
Mm-hmm.
We were worried too.
Luckily, they allowed me to have that because I think without it, I don't win.
Yeah, we talked quite a bit about that, honestly, and that whole round was that when you built trading posts. When was that? When did you build your trading post on D1? Was that round 4? Where you're saying strong?
4, yeah.
Yeah, it was round 4 because I built the sanctuary for Air 1, and then I built the trading post.
Right.
There.
So we were trying to figure out what your round was going to be, like whether it was a sanctuary for Air 1 and then workers for trading posts to get your Air 1 to start scoring, or whether you're actually going to build an early stronghold. At the time, I wasn't sure that Wisps were going to come to B1. Like, it wasn't, I guess people in chat were pretty confident of that, but I wasn't really sure. I thought you might have actually just built a stronghold on D1 and then actually taken B4 that round. Anyhow, point being, when you built the sanctuary and the 2 trading posts, I forget exactly what I said, but I think that you, Chris, you and I thought that was like possibly a bit damaging for dwarves there in that state to build so tall and to not take the connection hex when they had an opportunity for it.
There were two interesting bits there. Yeah, sorry, just sort of jump in, but yeah, one was the worrying about having B4 taken from you, which felt like a risk. But the other was that I think you pointed out, Weber, that it looked like dwarves changed their game plan maybe in the second half of that and started majoring on the trading post when they realised they were going to get the trading post past tile.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. And yeah, let's pivot to that for a second. During that round, was there a world where you were planning on building Sanctuary and Stronghold that round?
Yeah, I think that the round definitely started out.
Okay.
Started out looking like maybe I could do both, but then kind of as it went on, I realized that doing so, I was going to have like no coins for the rest of the game, pretty much.
Right.
And I did see that I would likely end up with the trading post tile
Right.
on at least one of the 2 rounds.
Right.
So I looking back, I kind of feel like it might have been better to build the stronghold instead of the sanctuary. And then I would be able to take B4 in that same round.
Yeah, maybe.
And I could kind of just flip the order that I did those, because I didn't really need the sanctuary that round. I guess Air 1 was worth 6 points.
It was 6 points you wouldn't have gotten. It came with a worker, and the stronghold would have covered up a trading post worth of coins, or of course the sanctuary doesn't cover up any income. So it also would have been like I don't know, right? Like there's some weird things with dwarves that, like, although they kind of can come across as a vanilla faction, like I often in sort of those mid to late game kind of stuff where you're making these big decisions, like I don't always know what like the correct choices there. There's really some big changes you could have made in your game in round 4 that would have really diverged quite a bit. And I think one of those was like if you were going to, does it work, like pass before nomads? I think the building tile was sitting there. There was a moment where I thought you might have gotten the big building tile, and so that's a very different game. You build a sanctuary and a stronghold, and you pass for bonus 6. Versus they're passing first for it. You're being left the trading post pass tile. So now we're saying screw the stronghold. We're building a sanctuary. We're building up more trading posts to give us more dwellings to build in the dwelling round, even though our tunneling's more expensive. Like that's a huge change to how the whole game is played. It was just really interesting to see that point in the game.
Yeah, I definitely expected them to pass on to the big building tile, and then they didn't. And I ended up with the trading post tile anyway.
But someone got
them to pass right onto it.
Dragon Lords or something.
Passed onto it.
Or not Dragon Lords because they have it now. Someone took it. Yeah.
I think they took it, but they didn't take it when it was first available.
Right.
Like I thought they would snap.
Right.
Take it immediately.
Right.
And I wouldn't have the chance to. So if I had known that they were going to leave it there,
right.
I think the stronghold is the safer route in round 4 instead of the sanctuary, because then you could secure your connection much more easily
Yeah.
in round 5, or you could even secure the connection right away,
Right.
and then you can just kind of be safe, which that's probably an error from I guess the table, maybe me and them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. There's I mean, oftentimes the passing order and stuff like that just plays such a big role in those like crucial rounds 4 and 5. But regardless, like the way that stuff broke, I thought the way that you played it was really nice. We were really excited. I was trying to figure that out kind of on stream, and then when I saw your pivot to like Sanctuary Air 1, build a bunch of trading posts, get on the TP tile, have coin income, and like, yeah, although you wouldn't have been able to tunnel in the dwelling round, now you just had that many more dwellings in general to build. So it was like looking really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. That was the main thing. Was I had a ton of workers coming in from the air track and Earth 2, so I was like, I can just build a bunch of training
Right.
posts and not worry about it.
Right. Yeah. No, it looked really good. Sorry, I've been hogging all the mic here. Chris, do you have any questions for Aljaz?
Looking at the same part of the game, because I think that was a fairly crucial bit. I mean, did you have a plan B if Wisps did take B4?
If they did take B4, I think the only thing I would have been able to do was try to make sure that I could get A3. It would have been crazy expensive to do if I was going to make it to connect. But I guess the benefit there is if I do that, then it's another edge hex. So I probably end up with 5 edge hexes anyway, and I'm still connected. So I probably don't need to take what is it, E1,
Mm-hmm.
and then I still wanted A8 or 9, that last red, so that the nomads couldn't get it. Because I think if that's there, then they would tie on the edge.
Right. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I kind of expected.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I
was just concerned about the Dragon Lords game and how many edge hexes they were going to be able to grab. Like,
yeah,
but they ended up just running out of tokens, and yeah, I feel like they were going to get. I thought they were going to get to 6. Was what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, we talked about Dragon Lords quite a bit earlier on in the stream, and they had done some really interesting stuff. But it was at some point we had sort of just made the comment of like, okay, they dug a lot of these hexes. They've been kind of annoying to some of their opponents. They've dug some good stuff, but you know they had done so much digging, and like not one of them was on that was an edge, right? Like I forget how many Dragon Lords digs were there before he had gotten down to I2 or I6,
Yeah.
but it was like a lot of Dragon Lords digging had already been done, and they had like started on the edge stuff. So, yeah, it was really cool. Well, anyhow, congratulations, once again. And do you have any sort of final words or thoughts you wanted to share just before we wrap things up?
No, I'm I'm glad that I feel like I feel like a lot of times I'll have good Dwarves games, and then I won't secure my connection, and
Right.
then it'll come back and haunt me. And I'm glad that didn't happen this game.
Yeah, no, it was really great. Yeah, I've definitely played many a Dwarves game where I've mucked up connection towards the end. So yeah, it was nice to see this play out well for you. You did such a great job. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking for the scroll, the Photoshop update.
Yeah, that's right. Stay tuned for that in the Discord.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Aljaz.
All right, thanks.
Cool, and that wraps up, I guess, our second week of doing this. Once again, congratulations to Aljaz for being the our second victor of the Battle for the Scroll. Is that what we're calling them, or the champion of the Battle of the Scroll? Help me out with that, Chris. What's the official title here?
Let's go. What do you think? Yeah, should we go for champion of the Battle of the Scroll?
Champion of the Battle of the Scroll. Okay.
I'll see if I can top that before next Sunday.
Okay. And any final words just for the stream before we end things here, or updates about the tournament, anything like that?
Yeah, no. So we've got slightly more game times on open these days. So we've got Saturday evening European time, Saturday afternoon US time game as well for you to play, and also a Saturday morning European time. So yeah, get on the Discord and come and play some mad crazy games.
Yeah, if you're not on the Discord already, I just posted a link. Actually, it came up to both, but the second one there, that's the link to the Discord for Terra Mystica Weekend Madness. So jump in there if you're not in there already. Cool. Well, thanks again for doing this with me, Chris. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure.
Cool.
Yeah, cheers.
And thanks to everyone in chat for coming to hang out. If you aren't part of my Discord, links in the chat as well. Jump in there and also drop me a follow on the channel if you haven't done so already. That way you'll get notified anytime I go live. Hope to be doing this on a weekly basis as I can moving forward. So stay tuned for next week, and I hope to see a bunch of you back. Thanks again, everyone, and have a good night.